Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Robert T. Kiyosaki isn't just any personal finance book, it's a transformative guide that shakes the very foundation of how we think about wealth. Imagine standing at a crossroads. One path leads to working tirelessly your entire life for a paycheck, and the other takes you toward a future where your money works for you. This book shows you the stark contrast between these two paths. Kiyosaki paints a vivid picture of two father figures who couldn't be more different. His poor dad, an intelligent, hard-working man, spent his life believing that the only route to success was a secure job, a steady paycheck, and higher education. He did everything by the book, right? He put in the hours, got the degrees, climbed the corporate ladder, yet still struggled financially. And isn't that a common story for so many of us? We follow the traditional wisdom, get a good job, save a little here and there, but somehow, true financial freedom feels out of reach. But then, there's his rich dad. This man didn't just play the game of life differently, he rewrote the rules. He saw money not as something to chase after but as something to master. He believed in financial literacy over formal education, in building businesses and investing in assets that could generate income even while he slept. Imagine that, your money growing while you're out enjoying life, without the constant stress of wondering if you'll make ends meet. It's a dream for many, but for Kiyosaki's rich dad, it was simply how the world worked. The contrast between these two perspectives isn't just fascinating, it's emotionally powerful. On one side, you have a father who worked so hard his entire life, only to remain trapped in the cycle of earning and spending. And on the other, you have a man who broke free from that cycle, living life on his terms because he knew how to let his money do the work for him. It's almost heartbreaking when you think about how many people, like the poor dad, pour their blood, sweat, and tears into a system that wasn't designed to make them truly wealthy. Kiyosaki's message isn't just about money, it's about freedom. It's about living a life where you control your destiny, where you're not bound by a paycheck or dependent on a single source of income. It's about breaking the chains of financial struggle and finding empowerment in financial literacy. This shift in thinking can be life-changing, offering a sense of relief and excitement for what's possible. So, which path will you choose? The one where you work hard for money, or the one where money works hard for you? Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad challenges us to rethink everything we thought we knew about wealth, urging us to pursue a life of financial independence and freedom. Poor Dad's mindset. The way Poor Dad viewed money was rooted in traditional thinking. He believed that wealth was something to be cautiously handled, and not something easily attained by the average person. He saw taxes as a way to keep wealth in check, thinking the rich should pay more in taxes. This reflects a mindset that wealth comes with a burden, and that burden should be carried by those fortunate enough to have it. For him, success was defined by a good education leading to a stable job, thus his constant reminder, study hard so you can find a good job. His life choices were often shaped by fear and limitation, like when he would say, "Don't take risks." For Poor Dad, the idea of having kids was another reason for financial struggle. I'm not rich because I have kids. Money discussions were uncomfortable, to the point where he believed it wasn't a topic suitable for family gatherings. Don't bring up money during dinner. His risk-averse mentality was further cemented in his view of assets. A house is the biggest asset you have, a belief rooted in security rather than growth. He believed in paying bills first, prioritizing obligations over wealth-building strategies. Sadly, Poor Dad's resignation to his circumstances is echoed in his words, "I'll never be rich." It's a mindset that traps many: hard work, little reward, and no hope for breaking free. Rich Dad's mindset. In stark contrast, Rich Dad saw the world through a lens of opportunity and empowerment. He didn't fear taxes, he saw them as a tool that could reward those who create. Taxes reward those who create. He encouraged not just studying hard but thinking bigger. Study hard so you can find a good company to buy. The thought of having kids didn't limit him financially, it drove him to achieve more. I need to get wealthy because I have kids. Rich Dad knew the importance of keeping money matters front and center in family life, encouraging open discussions at the dinner table. Discuss money and business over dinner. His advice was bold: learn to handle risk. He understood that true financial freedom comes with learning how to manage uncertainty rather than avoiding it. His view of a house as a liability instead of an asset, "A house is the biggest liability you have," was a revolutionary thought for many. He believed in paying bills last, not out of neglect, but because he prioritized investing in wealth building first. His confidence in his financial philosophy was summed up in the words, "I'm a wealthy guy, and wealthy people don't do this." Rich Dad's mindset was about flipping conventional wisdom on its head. He showed that wealth isn't reserved for a select few, but for anyone willing to think differently and take calculated risks. It's this difference in mentality, one rooted in fear, the other in empowerment, that sets the rich apart from the poor. One of the most groundbreaking concepts in Rich Dad, Poor Dad was Kiyosaki's clear distinction between assets and liabilities. It was a revelation that shook traditional financial thinking. Most of us grow up believing that owning a home, a car, or even certain possessions means we are building wealth. But Kiyosaki turned that idea on its head. He explained in the simplest terms that an asset is something that puts money into your pocket, while a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Think about it, many people proudly view their homes or cars as prized assets, but in reality, these things can be financial drains. A house, for instance, costs money for mortgage payments, maintenance, taxes, and repairs. It might appreciate over time, but it's a liability as long as it keeps pulling money out of your pocket. The same goes for a car, which depreciates in value the moment it's driven off the lot. These aren't assets, they're liabilities. Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, on the other hand, saw true assets as things that generate income, like investment properties or rental homes that bring in a steady cash flow. These assets not only pay for themselves but also put money in your pocket, without requiring you to be actively involved day in and day out. The goal is to accumulate more of these real assets so that they start covering your living expenses and eventually lead you to financial freedom. The bigger lesson from Rich Dad, Poor Dad is about understanding financial literacy, how to make smart choices with your money, and how to break free from the endless cycle of earning just to cover your bills. Kiyosaki urges readers to seek out opportunities to invest in income-generating assets so that they can escape the rat race, where you work tirelessly for your paycheck, only to see it disappear into liabilities. Financial education, according to Kiyosaki, is the true key to acquiring wealth and living a life where you are not controlled by money, but where money works for you. The first and most essential lesson in Rich Dad, Poor Dad is simple yet profound: focus on assets, not liabilities. This lesson alone could be a game changer for anyone seeking financial independence and long-term wealth. Kiyosaki makes it clear that most people don't truly understand the difference between an asset and a liability. It's a misunderstanding that keeps many trapped in financial struggle. He defines assets as things that bring money into your pocket, such as real estate, stocks, and businesses. These are the golden tickets to financial freedom because they work for you, earning money even when you're not actively involved. Liabilities, however, are the exact opposite. They drain money from your pocket. Home or car loans, credit card debt, and other financial obligations may seem like progress or necessities, but they're actually pulling you further from wealth. Kiyosaki uses the example of a house, which most people mistakenly consider an asset. He explains that if you buy a home using a mortgage, it becomes a financial burden. You're continuously paying for it, through mortgage payments, maintenance, property taxes, yet it generates no income, making it a liability. True assets, in Kiyosaki's view, are things like commercial real estate that generate rental income, stocks that pay dividends, or businesses that create passive income. These are investments that not only pay for themselves but also help build your wealth over time. The lesson here is crucial: build assets that bring in income, not liabilities that incur expenses. For Kiyosaki, this shift in mindset is the foundation of financial independence. It's about making money work for you, instead of working your whole life for money. When you start focusing on acquiring real assets and minimizing liabilities, you begin to step out of the rat race and onto the path to true wealth. The second powerful lesson in Rich Dad, Poor Dad is that financial education is the key to financial success. While traditional schooling is essential for academic growth, Kiyosaki boldly argues that the education system fails when it comes to teaching people how to manage money and build wealth. Schools don't teach you how to become financially independent, leaving a massive gap in knowledge that is crucial for long-term success. Kiyosaki drives this point home by comparing the philosophies of his two dads, his highly educated poor dad and his financially savvy rich dad. His poor dad, despite holding a respectable degree and a good job, believed in working hard for a paycheck. But no matter how hard he worked, he always seemed to be stuck in a financial struggle. On the other hand, his rich dad, who wasn't as academically accomplished, focused on financial literacy. He invested money, took calculated risks, and understood the importance of running a business to build wealth. This stark contrast between the two highlights the truth that being educated in the traditional sense doesn't necessarily equate to financial success. Kiyosaki stresses that even if you have the best education, without understanding the basics of money management, risk assessment, and wealth-building strategies, you'll likely remain in the rat race, working hard but never truly breaking free financially. In essence, Kiyosaki teaches us that financial literacy is the missing piece in most people's education. If you want to thrive financially, it's not enough to rely on a paycheck or a degree. You need to invest in your financial education. Learn about managing money, understanding investments, minimizing liabilities, and navigating risks. This knowledge allows you to make informed decisions that will help you grow your wealth and achieve financial independence. The third major lesson from Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the importance of running your own business rather than working for someone else. Kiyosaki emphasizes that earning a salary from a job will never lead to true wealth. It's about building something of your own and letting your money work for you. In Kiyosaki's view, the rich don't work for others, they work for themselves. They don't rely on a paycheck or trade their time for money. Instead, they acquire assets that generate passive income, allowing them to grow their wealth over time without being directly tied to their labor. Whether it's through real estate, stocks, or businesses, they find ways to make their money earn more money, even while they sleep. Kiyosaki challenges the traditional mindset that we should work hard for a paycheck. He believes that if you're working for someone else, you're building their wealth, not your own. Why spend your life making someone else rich when you can put that energy into building your own empire? Running your own business gives you the control and flexibility to focus on acquiring assets and creating streams of income that will eventually free you from the need to trade your time for money. This concept of owning and running a business shifts the entire dynamic. Instead of working hard to make money for someone else, you're in a position where others can work to make you richer. You're no longer confined to the limits of a salary, and you open the door to financial freedom by creating opportunities that allow wealth to accumulate. The fourth crucial lesson in Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the importance of understanding the tax code and legal system. According to Kiyosaki, the rich have mastered the art of using the tax laws to their advantage, and this is one of the main reasons they can continue to grow their wealth. For most people, taxes are a significant drain on their income. When you earn a salary, you're subject to high taxes, including income tax, Social Security tax, and Medicare tax. Each paycheck gets a big chunk taken out before it even hits your bank account, leaving you with less to save or invest. The tax burden is even heavier when you take on loans like home or car payments. However, Kiyosaki explains that if you run a corporation, the game changes entirely. Business owners can legally write off business expenses, reducing the amount of taxable income. This means that much of the money that would have gone to taxes can instead be reinvested back into the business, allowing for expansion, growth, and the accumulation of more wealth. One of the key strategies is that a business can pay out its profits to the owners as dividends, which are taxed at a lower rate than salaries. This is a way for the wealthy to keep more of their earnings, rather than losing a significant portion to taxes. The rich also reinvest their profits into new ventures or assets, further reducing their taxable income. The takeaway here is that by running a business, you have much more control over how much tax you pay. Understanding the tax code and how to navigate it allows you to minimize your tax liability, keeping more of your hard-earned money for yourself. Kiyosaki emphasizes that the rich don't just work hard, they work smart by leveraging the legal system to protect and grow their wealth. The fifth lesson from Rich Dad, Poor Dad is one of the most controversial yet eye-opening: learn to invent money. Kiyosaki flips the traditional idea of hard work on its head, arguing that simply working hard and doing a good job will not make you rich. Instead, the key to wealth lies in making strategic decisions and capitalizing on opportunities. The rich, Kiyosaki says, don't just earn money, they invent it. This idea challenges the belief that wealth comes from years of climbing the corporate ladder or putting in long hours. According to Kiyosaki, the wealthy don't trade their time for money, they create systems that generate multiple streams of passive income, allowing them to earn money even when they're not actively working. They take risks, seize opportunities, and focus on buying or building assets that continuously bring in cash flow. The lesson is clear: don't work for money, make money work for you. Instead of putting in more hours at a job or relying solely on a paycheck, focus on acquiring assets that will provide infinite returns. Some examples include businesses that don't require active supervision. These could be systems or companies that run on their own or require minimal input from you, allowing you to reap the benefits without being tied to a desk. Rental properties. Real estate that generates passive income through rent is a prime example of an asset that keeps earning you money without requiring constant effort. Financial investments, stocks, bonds, or other investments that pay dividends over time also fall into this category. They grow your wealth while you focus on other ventures or enjoy life. Kiyosaki's message here is bold but vital: you don't have to trade time for money. By investing in the right assets and thinking outside the box, you can create wealth that continuously works for you, delivering returns far beyond what a traditional salary could ever offer. The sixth lesson from Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a significant mindset shift: work to learn, not for money. Kiyosaki explains that while most people work solely to earn a paycheck, this approach will keep you trapped in the rat race, never allowing you to build true wealth. The rich, on the other hand, focus on acquiring skills, and these skills are what open doors to greater earning opportunities and long-term success. The idea is simple but profound: don't just work for the money, work to gain knowledge and expertise. If you develop new, marketable skills, you will create value that goes far beyond a paycheck. Whether it's learning about investments, mastering a trade, or understanding how businesses operate, the skills you pick up along the way are what ultimately enable you to escape the cycle of working hard for someone else's gain. This mindset naturally shifts people from aiming for well-paying jobs to becoming entrepreneurs, where they can leverage their skills to build something of their own. Kiyosaki uses McDonald's as a powerful example. When he asked a group of people, who can make a better hamburger than McDonald's, nearly everyone raised their hands. Yet, despite this, McDonald's is a multi-billion-dollar empire. The lesson here: making a great product isn't enough, it's about acquiring the skills to turn that product into a successful business. Everyone might be able to flip a delicious burger, but the real value lies in learning how to market it, scale a business, and make it profitable. That's the skill set that leads to true wealth. Kiyosaki urges readers to work to upskill themselves. Whether it's sales, marketing, management, or investing, the skills you build along the way will set you apart from those who simply work for a paycheck. Focus on developing valuable, marketable skills that allow you to grow, innovate, and create wealth, not just to earn your next paycheck but to control your financial future. The seventh lesson from Rich Dad, Poor Dad is about embracing the power of taking financial risks. Kiyosaki argues that if you truly want to break free from the rat race and achieve financial independence, you have to be willing to step outside your comfort zone and take risks. Playing it safe by following the traditional path of job security won't make you rich, it'll only keep you in the same cycle as everyone else. Kiyosaki stresses that the rich don't shy away from opportunities. They explore new ventures, invest in different assets, and take calculated risks to reap massive profits. Unlike most people who fear the unknown and avoid risk, the wealthy see opportunities where others see obstacles. They're willing to try new things, knowing that sometimes success comes from daring to be different. One of Kiyosaki's key insights is that job security doesn't equal financial security. A stable job might give you the illusion of safety, but it can also lead to complacency. No job is 100% secure. External factors like economic downturns or company changes can always disrupt your position. Relying solely on a paycheck leaves you vulnerable to these uncertainties. On the other hand, investing in multiple income streams, such as stocks, bonds, real estate, or businesses, gives you true financial security. If one source of income dries up, you'll still have others to rely on. This diversification of assets protects you from financial instability and sets the foundation for lasting wealth. However, Kiyosaki is clear: taking risks doesn't mean being reckless. He emphasizes the importance of calculated risks, carefully weighing your options, doing thorough research, and making informed decisions. The key is to be bold enough to seize opportunities when they arise, but not to gamble blindly. Kiyosaki's lesson here is to challenge the fear that holds most people back from trying something new. If you want to build wealth, you have to bet on yourself and your decisions, take strategic risks, and not let limiting beliefs stop you from chasing bigger financial success. Imagine a scenario where two individuals, each starting with the same amount of money, take completely different paths. One spends their life working hard for a paycheck, always looking for the next promotion or a higher salary. The other. They choose a different approach, understanding that true wealth isn't built by working harder but by making money work for them. This concept, as explained by Kiyosaki in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is one of the biggest ideas that separate the wealthy from the rest. The rich don't work for money, only the poor do. Instead of putting in endless hours, chasing a bigger paycheck, the wealthy focus on investing in businesses, stocks, real estate, or any asset that can generate passive income. Think of it like planting a tree. The poor often spend their entire lives working day after day, watering a plant that never grows beyond a certain height. It keeps them fed, but that's about it. The rich, however, plant trees that bear fruit for years. They don't stand by waiting for their daily wages, they step back and watch as their investments begin to generate income on their own, like a tree giving endless fruit season after season. Kiyosaki dives deeper into this in his follow-up book, The Cash Flow Quadrant. He explains how the truly wealthy place themselves in a position where their money works for them, instead of trading time for money. By investing wisely, whether it's in stocks, businesses, or real estate, the rich allow their money to grow and compound. Imagine putting a portion of your earnings into stocks, for example. With time, that investment grows. It's not about clocking in and out for hours, it's about letting your money multiply, even while you sleep. The beauty of this approach? You aren't actively working for every dollar that comes in. Instead, your money works for you, creating opportunities for financial freedom. In time, you realize that you've built wealth not by burning out in a 9-to-5 job, but by letting the seeds of your investments grow into a forest of financial abundance. 2. Rich people acquire assets, and poor people acquire liabilities. When it comes to building wealth, a profound truth shines through in Kiyosaki's teachings. Rich people acquire assets, while poor people acquire liabilities. This distinction is crucial for anyone looking to improve their financial situation. Wealthy individuals understand that to build wealth, they must invest in assets, things that put money in their pockets. These can include stocks, bonds, and real estate that generate income over time. Imagine having a property that you rent out. Every month, you receive money that not only covers expenses but also adds to your wealth. This is the mindset of the rich. They see value in investments that grow and generate passive income. On the flip side, poor people often mistake certain possessions for assets. They buy homes, flashy cars, and other material items that appear valuable but are, in fact, liabilities. A house might seem like an asset because it's property you own, but if it requires a mortgage, upkeep, and taxes, it can drain your finances rather than grow them. Similarly, a new car loses value the moment you drive it off the lot and often comes with hefty insurance and maintenance costs. Kiyosaki's message is clear: shift your focus from acquiring liabilities, those enticing purchases that seem to enhance your lifestyle, to building a portfolio of true assets. Ask yourself, does this purchase generate income or drain my resources? This shift in thinking is essential for anyone aiming to attain financial freedom. 3. It doesn't matter how much money you make, but how much you save. Another critical lesson from Kiyosaki is that it doesn't matter how much money you make, but how much you save. This concept flips the traditional narrative on its head. Earning a high salary doesn't automatically equate to wealth. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that if they make more money, they'll be better off. However, what really matters is how much of that money you keep. High earners often find themselves in a cycle of spending, paying taxes, living beyond their means, and accumulating debt. This means that despite earning a substantial salary, they have little to show for it. 2. Rich people acquire assets, and poor people acquire liabilities. When it comes to building wealth, a profound truth shines through in Kiyosaki's teachings: rich people acquire assets, while poor people acquire liabilities. This distinction is crucial for anyone looking to improve their financial situation. Wealthy individuals understand that to build wealth, they must invest in assets, things that put money in their pockets. These can include stocks, bonds, and real estate that generate income over time. Imagine having a property that you rent out. Every month, you receive money that not only covers expenses but also adds to your wealth. This is the mindset of the rich. They see value in investments that grow and generate passive income. On the flip side, poor people often mistake certain possessions for assets. They buy homes, flashy cars, and other material items that appear valuable but are, in fact, liabilities. A house might seem like an asset because it's property you own, but if it requires a mortgage, upkeep, and taxes, it can drain your finances rather than grow them. Similarly, a new car loses value the moment you drive it off the lot and often comes with hefty insurance and maintenance costs. Kiyosaki's message is clear: shift your focus from acquiring liabilities, those enticing purchases that seem to enhance your lifestyle, to building a portfolio of true assets. Ask yourself, does this purchase generate income or drain my resources? This shift in thinking is essential for anyone aiming to attain financial freedom. 3. It doesn't matter how much money you make, but how much you save. Another critical lesson from Kiyosaki is that it doesn't matter how much money you make, but how much you save. This concept flips the traditional narrative on its head. Earning a high salary doesn't automatically equate to wealth. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that if they make more money, they'll be better off. However, what really matters is how much of that money you keep. High earners often find themselves in a cycle of spending, paying taxes, living beyond their means, and accumulating debt. This means that despite earning a substantial salary, they have little to show for it. Consider the example of someone making six figures but living paycheck to paycheck. They might be spending extravagantly on luxury items, expensive dining, and extravagant vacations. In contrast, someone earning a modest income but diligently saving and investing can build significant wealth over time. Kiyosaki emphasizes that the key to becoming wealthy lies in saving and investing wisely. This means prioritizing your financial future over momentary pleasures. Instead of spending every dollar that comes in, create a budget that allows you to save a portion of your income. Put that money into investments that will grow and generate more wealth for you in the long run. In essence, financial success is less about your income level and more about your saving habits and investment strategies. It's not just about how much you make, it's about how you manage, save, and grow that money that will ultimately lead you to wealth and financial independence. Financial aptitude is what you do with the money you earn. Earning money is just the beginning of your financial journey. The true test lies in your financial aptitude, what you do with that money once it's in your hands. This is where many people falter. They may receive a paycheck, but without the skills and knowledge to manage that income wisely, they risk squandering their opportunities for wealth. Kiyosaki emphasizes that simply earning a salary isn't enough to build wealth. Instead, you must learn to invest your money strategically. This means looking beyond immediate gratification and focusing on acquiring financial assets that generate income. Think about stocks that appreciate over time, bonds that provide interest, or rental properties that offer monthly cash flow. These investments allow your money to work for you, compounding over time and creating a wealth-building snowball effect. Understanding financial literacy is crucial here. By gaining knowledge about different investment vehicles and how they operate, you can transform your approach to money. This financial intelligence empowers you to make informed decisions, identify lucrative opportunities, and minimize risks. Kiyosaki stresses that financial aptitude is about developing the mindset to think like an investor. When you recognize the potential for growth in your investments, you'll begin to see your money not as a static resource but as a tool for creating wealth. 5. Our single most valuable asset is our mind. Above all else, Kiyosaki teaches that your mind is your most valuable asset. It's not your material possessions, like your house, car, or even the cash you hold. Instead, it's your ability to think, learn, and adapt that truly determines your financial success. Financial aptitude is what you do with the money you earn. Earning money is just the beginning of your financial journey. the true test lies in your financial aptitude, what you do with that money once it's in your hands. This is where many people falter. They may receive a paycheck, but without the skills and knowledge to manage that income wisely, they risk squandering their opportunities for wealth. Kiyosaki emphasizes that simply earning a salary isn't enough to build wealth. Instead, you must learn to invest your money strategically. This means looking beyond immediate gratification and focusing on acquiring financial assets that generate income. Think about stocks that appreciate over time, bonds that provide interest, or rental properties that offer monthly cash flow. These investments allow your money to work for you, compounding over time and creating a wealth-building snowball effect. Understanding financial literacy is crucial here. By gaining knowledge about different investment vehicles and how they operate, you can transform your approach to money. This financial intelligence empowers you to make informed decisions, identify lucrative opportunities, and minimize risks. Kiyosaki stresses that financial aptitude is about developing the mindset to think like an investor. When you recognize the potential for growth in your investments, you'll begin to see your money not as a static resource but as a tool for creating wealth. 5. Our single most valuable asset is our mind. Above all else, Kiyosaki teaches that your mind is your most valuable asset. It's not your material possessions, like your house, car, or even the cash you hold. Instead, it's your ability to think, learn, and adapt that truly determines your financial success. Overall, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a transformative book that fundamentally shifts your mindset about money and paves the way to financial freedom. It's not just a guide, it's a revelation that dismantles the myths surrounding wealth and provides you with actionable insights that can propel you toward success. Kiyosaki's teachings encourage you to rethink your relationship with money, emphasizing that true wealth comes from understanding financial principles and taking deliberate actions to create a secure financial future.